the sports world now at a near standstill with more seasons being suspended, delayed, or just canceled. Eric Chemi has the scorecard, and I wasn't with you yesterday as these things were happening. Eric, it hit me like I was kind of in shock, considering for a while I was watching St. John's Creighton, and it was like, wow, the Big East is still playing, and everybody else had canceled. And then they just all left at halftime.
It was a weird day yesterday, Joe, because it was just minute by minute. You're right. That was the one game that was playing, and you're just thinking, well, everyone else is canceling, and they're playing the game, and then here they come at halftime. And then the ACC, they canceled that game right before tip-off, and they said, all right, Florida State, they're the champion. Here's your trophy for the regular season, and everybody go home. But so most things got canceled during the day yesterday, but then overnight, two of the last major holdouts, they finally decided to shut down as well. The PGA Tour canceling the rest of the Players' Championship. After only one day of play, the PGA Tour also suspending its season for a number of weeks, at least through April 5th. The XFL, they were still scheduled to play this weekend. Vince McMahon, remember, he just launched that league this year again after a 20-year hiatus, canceling the rest of its entire season. They had only played 5 regular season games. The brand new league saying it would still pay its players for the missed games. Its season would have ended in April. And, of course, all of this comes after yesterday. Nearly every pro sports league, even March Madness, as we talked about, was suspended or canceled. The leagues, they're not trying to figure out a lot of unknown questions. Mark Cuban says he's looking into ways to pay hourly workers who might not get paid during the stoppage. Kevin Love of the NBA announced he's donating $100,000 to arena workers, and he hopes others will follow his suit. Adam Silver putting out a statement overnight to fans saying this is a highly fluid situation. Executives I talked to, they said despite all the explicit written agreements that all these leagues and their business partners have, these executives have an understanding that they're going to need to work together to figure out make goods for lost media exposure, lost sponsorship, lost tickets, all those things. Even if it takes many years on a long-term contract to make up that difference. March Madness is a great example. That's a many year contract. It goes into the 2030s. So if they do lose this entire year, they've got over a decade to make up that lost money. Guys, back to you.
When's the Masters, Eric? It's after April 5th.
So April 5th is the Valero Open. So it's canceled through Valero, and then they're hoping for now they can still try to do the Masters. But
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That just seemed that April date seemed like it was, it's kind of arbitrary, but it's done within mind maybe that hopefully by then you won't have to.
Because today is the 13th, right? So the other leagues, they're saying, hey, check back in 30 days. So that would put you at April 13th. But in golf, that's the Masters. So they're keeping their window a little bit tighter because the NBA, they're looking at least 30 days out. Golf is looking only to April 5th for now. So that Masters is going to be a key date to watch.
Yeah, Eric, when they were talking about 30 days, I was hearing some of the conversations coming out of different officials in the league. They've hired epidemiologists and virologists that they're talking to, and I just wonder what they're hearing to make them say, okay, 30 days. Because same thing here, school closings for the most part are being rolled out in 2-week increments.
I mean, so you give the example of the Chinese Basketball Association. They were off for 10 weeks, and then only this week they said, hey, we're ready to go. Players need to get back here. So if you look, sports leagues, I mean, there's a lot of sweat. There's locker rooms. There's a lot more travel than school. So that league lasted 10 weeks. So maybe they know, look, 2 weeks for schools is one thing, but we've got a very different situation, so don't even think about it for at least a month.
Yeah. All right, Eric.
No March Madness for you, Joe. It's going to be weird. We're going to have to find other things to talk about.
There's March Madness. It's just not on the courts.
Yeah.
And Becky, we got to keep going on with our normal life and things we talk about. Buffett talking up Creighton. Eric, I had Creighton yesterday. They were getting their butts kicked by St. John's again after losing a couple weeks ago. And I was losing yesterday.
What's interesting, there's people I know, sports bettors, that whole sports betting industry, that was going to be a big tax driver for a lot of states like New Jersey, all these states that just passed it. There was someone here, a New Jersey resident, betting on that Creighton game, and he was saying, I hope they cancel that game because I'm losing money on that game, but it affects people.
I had a parlay with TCU versus Texas, I think. So I don't, or Minnesota. I don't know. I have.
But that's a whole industry. That's a whole industry that'll get shut down now. That was money that tax revenues
are
looking at.
That's something to think about too, because I don't think there's any. I got a message from DraftKings that said there's some other things going on, but I don't know what. There's really nothing.
NASCAR is still on schedule. Let's see if they actually run those races this weekend.
At least you're in a car.
Yeah, but you're going to run those with no fans?
But they're outdoors. They need the TV money. People that I talked to said, look, they're desperate for the TV money. They really want to run those races.